cares if Joker's hair is red? It's gonna be green when he falls in. Well, I guess no. A lot of people are saying that that's not really the Joker. So I guess if it isn't the Joker, then who cares?
Well, are you eating?
Yeah.
What are you eating?
This went from Flash to Arrow to Gotham to sex, now to racial.
Hey guys, his name was Light, and we found Nemesis. Thank God. I was ready to make posters, but we found him. Say hi, Nemesis.
We found him stuck in the middle of YouTube comments.
Okay. So today we're going to talk about the Flash and how it's going on, how we think our thoughts are on it, and it's coming back next week from when we're recording this. But since I have so much time on my hands, this should be uploaded by the time it comes back. Anyway, so let's just get on to what we think of the show. I personally wasn't gonna watch it when I first saw the trailer, but then I watched it and I got into it. I didn't really know who the Flash was. All I knew is that he ran fast. But I like how the show's developed. I like how the show's going. But there's one thing that still confuses me in the show. When Dr. Wells got beat up by Reverse Flash, and he's the Reverse Flash, then who beat up Dr. Wells?
It could have been him from the future.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
That's what I was thinking too. But it's like, how did his future self know how to get there at that exact same time? Did he like do that? Because I know, if you like interfere with your past self or something, doesn't it interfere with yourself or something, with your present self?
Well, the question is, which one went back, Dr. Wells or the Reverse Flash?
Okay, now that's just a bigger time loop. See?
Well, who's to say that the guy who beat up Harrison Wells was Harrison Wells? You know?
But, like, it's just, that's the one thing I wanted to talk about, too. That's about who attacked Dr. Wells, and if there's actually two of them, because... Well, we know he's a Reverse Flash. He has his own suit. We saw him run in his suit because he unmasked himself when he gave the guy to Grodd. But it's just like, yeah, what Nemesis just said. Did he travel back in time to Reverse Flash or Harrison Wells?
Well,
that's kind of confusing.
I think they pretty much confirmed that Harrison Wells is the Reverse Flash. So if Harrison Wells came back in time to steal the particle accelerator, he came back to steal it for whatever reason, we don't really know why yet, but he stole it because he probably needed it in the future.
But you already know, like, Dr. Wells, he already knew Barry was gonna get struck by lightning. So if I don't know how he did it, but it's really confusing, and I don't know how to explain it. But
he did like a double back in time. He went back in time to Barry's time. And then he went back in time again for the whole Reverse Flash episode.
Oh yeah, you know what's really crazy?
Like a dream within a dream. It's like going back in time while going back in time.
Yeah, that's.
They do that.
That's weird.
They do that whole dream. It was all a dream thing. No.
It's weird. Like, how could somebody do? Because what's his name? Joe said he moved in, or his Star Labs had came. I think he said Star Labs, a month after Barry's mom died, and it's just, I don't know. It's really confusing, and especially how they don't mention his wife. They only mention it like every so often. And I was reading something, and it said how Harrison Wells isn't really Harrison Wells. When he had like time traveled into the future, he possibly could have murdered a guy and took his identity or something like that. So Harrison Wells might not actually be Harrison Wells. It might be like Ebor Dawn, Professor Zoom.
Yeah. You know what's really crazy though?
Created a fake identity.
Yeah. What were we gonna say, Dylan?
I was just gonna say, when I first, when the mid-season finale first aired, when I was watching it, just because it kind of it needs to sit in with me for a second. Like, if someone asked me what I thought of an episode right after I watched it, it kind of has to sit in with me. So when I saw the Reverse Flash beating up Harrison Wells, in my head I was just like, maybe he's just so ridiculously fast that he's moving. That it's just one person moving, and then I realized that that's really not possible. And then
considering that he has to always put on that thing to run, because
yeah,
when he runs, he can like run out of it. But is he really crippled? Because there was one scene where I think it was the Sound of Fury. He was running, and then midway he fell and he didn't get back up. So is he actually crippled, or is he just like partially crippled? And when he gets the energy from the tecton, whatever is it called, the particles, then he can stand up. Considering the power.
No, it's just his connection to the Speed Force is weak. He's like not fully in the Speed Force because he's back in time.
Actually, I think he really could be crippled, because I think it's reasonable to say that the Speed Force, or like an artificially made Speed Force, could give you like the ability to walk. Like, if it gives you super speed, I think it could, like, whether it's like hit something with his legs or something with his spine, I think it could repair that for a certain amount of time. So that either it was just he fell down because he was extremely exhausted because his like immune system was reverting back to normal, or maybe it's because he actually is crippled without the Speed Force.
I'm thinking. I don't know. It's really hard. I looked up the Flash and about the Speed Force, and it's all this complicated stuff, and it's I don't know. It's just really complicated about this whole Speed Force thing. But what I think is how Barry already knows he's gonna travel back in time. He already saw himself. He's gonna travel back in time. How is he gonna know that how is he gonna know, like, oh, I gotta save my mom? And is he gonna like midway interrupt the Reverse Flash? And then, either he has to kill his mother because he's gonna mess up the timeline, or he lets the Reverse Flash kill his mom.
One thing I didn't really like about that scene where he was saying, this is a lesson on what not to do, is that just seeing one picture of like a red and a yellow blur isn't a lesson on what not to do. Even if he had supervision, it's still just a red and a yellow blur. Like, you can tell it's obviously a Reverse Flash and the Flash, or someone else maybe, but it's still, you can't tell. Like, all they are doing clearly is just running in circles. Which, by the way, if they're supposed to be like fighting, why are they running in circles? Why are they running in circles chasing after each other?
I think they could still fight each other.
Barry was defending his mother and was trying to stop the Reverse Flash from getting to her. So
yeah, I actually did think of that. Like, kind of like in the mid-season finale, he was just chasing them throughout time, and they ended up there, and Flash didn't think he was going to take him there. But if that is what was happening, I don't think, why wouldn't Flash just grab his mom and take her somewhere else?
Well, he still has himself and his father. And speaking of rescuing his mom, when the night of Barry's mom's murder in the pilot episode, who actually did rescue Barry? Because I saw a yellow blur.
I think that was Barry himself. That's what I think happened. I think Reverse Flash was going to attack Barry as a child, and adult Barry was like, "Oh shit!" So he saved himself and threw the child one out on the street. And during that time period, that's when his mother got stabbed. Reverse Flash was like, "This is my opportunity," and he killed her.
Yeah, I actually think that it was the Flash who took Barry out. Well, I guess. Well, actually, you never know. It could actually be Wally West.
I saw.
Else. So I think that Barry took him out, not because he was selfish and he wanted to save himself, but because if it may be Hunter Zolomon, or whoever it is, if the Reverse Flash could kill Barry, then Barry would never be to stop the flood. It would create a paradox. So he saved himself so that he could live to become the Flash, to go back and stop, on and on and on, and like that. I don't think it was a Reverse Flash who took Barry outside.
Well, because when I was watching it, I saw a yellow blur. I didn't see a red blur. So I got like really confused. Like, why would the Reverse Flash throw out Barry out like in the street like that?
Yeah, well,
So like, what was Flash doing when he had that time to?
Here's the thing, though. When a show starts and you like the people who made it have no idea if this thing's gonna last, they don't exactly have the whole season story in mind. So maybe the fact that it was only a yellow blur was just, because kind of like how Arrow is nothing like how it first started in the first episode, Flash isn't really like that much like the first episode. It's really kind of evolved. So maybe that was just a mistake in the first episode.
Kind of like Gotham, how it's involved. For some shitty storylines.
You don't like how it's evolved?
Huh?
You say you don't like how Gotham's evolved?
No, I liked how it evolved. I'm just saying, like that's how the Flash is. It's like Gotham. Like at first, it could be really shitty to fans, especially fans who were like hardcore Flash fans, and I wasn't a hardcore Flash fan back then. I just stuck to Batman. I never was into any other superhero, and that's when they got into main Flash. Like, oh, this is pretty good, and then I started like learning about his villains. I think the only villain I knew that he had was Reverse Flash and Captain Cold, because I watched the Flashpoint movie. And that was the only two villains I knew.
Yeah. Well,
and Gorilla Grodd.
Yeah, a lot of like the reason that I seem to I've said this to my other friends who don't even watch the show. I just talk to them about it. Oh, and I said it to you too. Is that the Arrow does have its own style. Its style is basically slow, like it's a slow moving plot, and it's supposed to have a big payoff, which it normally does. But in season 3, it's kind of had very small payoffs, in my opinion. But the Flash, very very fittingly, the plot is moving at lightning speed, and I love that. I love because like they don't know, they got renewed for a second season, but for all they know, they could get canceled early. So they're trying to make they're trying to have the most fun they can with the show, and they're trying to have even if the show ended next episode, we'd still have a nice collection of episodes, and that's why I liked it. That's why I like it. If Arrow stopped after the first season, like the whole first season was kind of a slow dragging plot that just kind of it paid off in the end, definitely, but it was still very much like a slow. Every episode was kind of like filler-ish, and then one big payoff. The Flash is kind of like, I just prefer that kind of, because it's more fun to watch in real time, like instead of watching it like on Netflix or something.
Yeah, because like for Arrow, when I got into it, it was just like every episode had something new, and like it was cool because they brought like villains that I already knew, like Deadshot. I already knew Deadshot was in there. I knew the Suicide Squad was in there, and it was just pretty cool. Even though I had no idea what was going on, I just watched the show not knowing what it had in store. And that's what I liked about it. But now since season 3 came along, it's like iffy. It's like I don't even want to watch it no more. I'd rather just wait until it comes on Netflix and watch the rest of the season.
Because when you think about Arrow, if you try to like rewatch that, it is like if I started watching Arrow in I actually haven't rewatched season 1 or season 2 of Arrow in a long time, but I feel like if I started watching Arrow like when it first started, like every week, I feel like I'd be very disappointed to have I wait. It can't be like I wait a whole week for that. Like just a bunch of like an hour of Thea going, why do you lie to me so much? And then Oliver going, because I want to protect you. And then back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth.
Yeah, it was a lot of filler in season 1.
What?
It was a lot of filler, meaning like nothing to do with like the overall story, which was the overtaking story.
Yeah.
Or undertaking, god damn it.
I know. Yeah, they kind of like left little like there was like one or two scenes of it in those kind of like the whole like when Oliver quote unquote died. They just kind of had little nuggets of like scenes of him coming back, which they still actually haven't explained that. And I really want them to. Anyway, why are we talking about Arrow? We're supposed to be talking about Flash.
Right, because
Talking about like the pace of the storyline, which, in my opinion, I just want to say this real quick. I don't think the story's fault, because how many episodes a season are there? 26. That's a lot.
3 to 26.
So, like, a lot of story in there. So, like, you can't have every episode being, oh, this amazing plot twist or this amazing thing happens. That's not really their fault on their part.
You absolutely can. You absolutely can have like every episode be great. I'm not saying that every episode has to be great. That every show, like like Young Justice, I love that show to death. But I'll admit that there's some episodes where I'm
Speaking of Young Justice, Dylan, I just learned today my English teacher uncle played an episode in one of them.
Really?
Yes.
Well,
so fuck you. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
See, but even if you don't like certain episodes of The Flash, at least a lot happens. At least there's some like more of a story to it, and like every episode, even which this almost never happens. Even if not much happens, the ending scene where it'll normally be like an ending scene with Dr. Wells or something is like a huge like what the fuck moment. It like that does kind of like kick just like kicks the story up a little bit.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm happy that the Reverse Flash, the pilot happens and it's I gotta find my mom's killer, and then all of a sudden, Reverse Flash disappears, and then the season finale is I'm back again, and then like I hate that, like, so I'm happy that they are, that's the overall plot. They're keeping it on focus.
Yeah, and they are smart to kind of keep, if you have a very, very threatening, just powerful, like, scary villain, it's very smart to keep him in the shadows. Like, if they had the Reverse Flash in every episode, he would kind of wear out, and he wouldn't be as threatening. So, when you saw like the Reverse Flash in the first episode, you're like, oh man, you start getting excited, especially Flash fans, like diehard Flash fans, and then you don't see him. But then when you see him in the mid-season finale, I
felt like that payoff. That was like a huge payoff. Like Arrow,
was like orgasm right there.
Like on Arrow, like how they didn't introduce Ra's al Ghul until like the mid-season finale. I thought that was a payoff, but then when now it's just like evolving to like they're gonna do something with Ra's al Ghul, because he's like, I want you to be the next Ra's al Ghul. Like, we all know the answer because it's a Batman storyline. He's going to say no. Ra's al Ghul is gonna get pissed. He's probably gonna do something with Starling City, and Oliver's gonna have to deal with it. But how are they gonna play this off? Because I know Tommy's coming back and stuff like that, but it's just the Flash. To be honest, for the Flash, the 2 episodes for the Firestorm arc, I didn't like the very last one. Like, it was kind of on and off, but then at the end, I was like, what the fuck is happening right now? And I was just like, okay, I'm more excited for Flash than I am for Arrow. And Arrow's been on since like 2012. I think, to be honest, like Arrow is still at their game right now, but it's just they take so long to tell good stories.
I mean, I just have to. I guess I just always have to express my opinion until the point where someone will be like, oh yeah, I guess I can kind of see that. Because I understand people who like Arrow more than Flash, but as of right now, as of season 3 compared to season 1 of Flash, I think there's at least some people who have to say that the Flash is technically better. Like, for example, I personally prefer. I prefer Gotham a little bit just because there's that special connection, because I love Batman, my favorite superhero. I love that whole world. I just love I love Gotham. But do I think it's better than the Flash? No, I don't. I do think that The Flash is a better show. And as of right now, I think Arrow is falling in third place right now.
Oh yeah, by the way, about Gotham, Fish Mooney is not going to appear in season 2.
Yeah,
So-
that's what I heard. I haven't spoiled anything for my family yet because they watch Gotham a lot and they really love the show. Like they don't give a fuck about any other show now. They just but the only show that they can probably like watch and just wait for it for for Gotham, like they can wait for that. Like they'll watch it. But like if we're done watching this one, okay, we watch wrestling. I'm a wrestling fan, so for y'all wrestling fans, what's up? Because there's not that many out there no more. But anyway, we're wrestling fans, and we watch Monday Night Raw, not Gotham, because we always change this because we have it recording at the same time, 8 p.m. and 8 p.m. So we change it to Raw instead. We don't watch Gotham. But when we do cut on, they get really into it, and that's when they start asking me questions, and I like that because it's like I get to explain my knowledge to Batman to my parents. Which makes them consider them throwing like this huge Batman themed birthday party for me, which I don't even want. But
it's so awesome when people ask. For me, it's so awesome when people ask me about Batman stuff that they don't know. Like, oh man, who's that character? I'm like, oh dude,
I got a whole story for you.
Dude.
But back to what Nemesis was saying, how what's her name? Is it Jada Pink Smith? Is that her name?
Oh yeah, she's also voicing Poison Ivy in Arkham Knight, so...
Wait, what?
Yeah, she's voicing Poison Ivy.
For real? Oh, yeah! No wonder she sounded so familiar. I was like, why does Poison Ivy sound so different but familiar? But
I know a lot of people don't like Fish Mooney in Gotham, but I think a lot of people said her character is very campy, or, not campy, but she's very silly. She's very silly compared to the others. I still think that I don't know if it's Pinkett or Plinkett. I think she's still a damn good actress, or actor, or whatever.
What? Okay, this is turning into Gotham, but I just want to.
Yeah,
we want to get shit off our chest really quick.
Not the actor, but it's the character.
Yeah, the character.
Yeah.
Fish Mooney.
The character is like, I'm gonna take over. I'm like, no, you're not, bitch.
You're not gonna take over. You're screwed. You got doll maker on there.
I mean, I don't know. I really don't get why so many people hate her. I mean, I get that she's obviously a villain, and she has her annoying moments, but I don't know. I think there's just something about how, like, even she'll do anything to achieve her goals, and I don't know. I just like her. Anyway, back to Flash. Talking.
Okay.
Back to Flash.
Yes. Okay. Back to Flash.
Yeah, nice one.
Well, what do you guys think of Firestorm? I actually like him. I never knew who he was. I thought it was just a secondary character they would just bring in, like kind of like Felicity Smoke and Dr. Wells. So, what do you guys think of Firestorm?
They are not waiting a millisecond to start building their universe. I love that they're just introducing, like, not like in Gotham. I'll say this: they are kind of like they just introduce a villain. Oh, hey, this just for the purpose of a cameo, just to please the fans, and it still is good. But the Flash, they're actually building a Justice League. They're building a universe, and just the idea that we already have Arrow, Flash, technically Arsenal is kind of his own superhero. Black Canary,
with Adam.
Yeah,
Adam. I almost forgot about him. AKA Iron Man. Anyway.
And then we have apparently Wally West is coming, but my one question is because I know when Iris came, Flash fans had a problem because oh, she's black. I don't mind she's black.
Who cares?
Who cares? It's about the character. It's not about.
Okay, I'll say this. I would definitely prefer if Iris West Iris West was more comic book accurate looking, but I mean, sometimes I'll give the fans this. Sometimes it doesn't work, like what I said with the Fantastic Four movie. The guy who's playing the Human Torch. I don't I'm not saying that a black person, that the ethnicity
Cannot play the role.
it can't be changed. But sometimes it just doesn't fit. But with her, it just works for whatever reason.
Say that again, Nemesis.
What's up?
Say what you just said again. I couldn't hear you.
Just like in Gotham, it's not the character, it's the actor.
There you go. See, it's not the character, it's the actor. And for the Flash, like they're talking about, oh my God, I don't want Wally West to be black. Like, I don't mind if he's black. I mean, it's a TV show. What you want, you're gonna get it.
Wally West is gonna be black.
Yeah.
Because of how Iris's family's descent is black, but they're saying like making it to like a long lost cousin or a cousin that's in Philadelphia that's white. I don't know, but
that's a 50-50 chance. You know, we're not gonna get into the whole sex thing now, but if they do have a kid and it's Wally, I mean, you know, there's a chance he could be white. So
yeah, but
the reason that I can't exactly see, and I think I could see it, but the only reason I can't exactly imagine it entirely as like Wally West being black is just because like he is very much like the red hair and like I don't know. I think it may not work as well with the Flash because he wears this like I'm gonna sound really weird saying this, but just that like the costumes like just really like bright red. I don't know. I know that sounds really. That may sound offensive, but I don't know. I just can't see it. But honestly, if someone said that Iris West was going to be black, I'd probably also be like, nah, that's stupid. But it turned out to be great, so who knows?
Well, I've never seen Iris in the comics, so I could not give a shit what color she is.
Well, she's also a redhead. She's also...
Well, yeah, Ginger Army.
Like,
well, see, I don't know what it's about. I don't know what it's about, like, how the characters have to be a specific kind of thing. Like, the Joker wasn't... I don't think Joker had red hair. Unless I had the Killing Joke. I can look at it. But
he did not. He had black hair.
Yeah, he had black hair. Everybody's like, he doesn't have red hair. Like, he, like, just... Leave it! I mean, it's a close resemblance. I saw the Joker in that actor. I saw Mark Hamill's Joker in that actor.
Tell me this, Nigma. How many times have we seen the Joker without green hair?
Like it's probably like a couple times. Rarely.
A couple of times. So I hate when people use this in arguments. Like sometimes I'll have an argument with someone and I'll tell them and I'll tell them my opinion and they'll say, who cares? And that really annoys me, but who cares if Joker's hair is red? It's gonna be green when he falls in. Well, I guess no. A lot of people are saying that that's not really the Joker. So I guess if it isn't a Joker, then who cares?
Well, are you eating?
Yeah.
What are you eating?
This went from Flash to Arrow to Gotham to sex, now to racial.
Oh my God.
Discussion, guys.
I'm putting that in the intro.
30, so I'm eating my dinner while walking.
28? Okay.
Like in the house right now, so shut up, leave me alone, bro. Anyway, sometimes I just
what is it from Flash to Arrow to Gotham to sex and then to eating?
Sometimes when our conversations like go off track, I just imagine someone listening to this going,
like, what the fuck? And they don't keep it on track. We have fun. We're having fun, okay? It's a video and we're talking as friends. It's like, I want it to be all about the Flash. Well, we're trying here. We're trying.
I kind of feel, especially like I said, they're building their universe. Arrow, they kind of had a Solomon Grundy tease. That never went anywhere. They had Captain Boomerang. So far, that hasn't gone anywhere. Hopefully, he'll come back. They had Deathstroke. Luckily, he stayed. They had Ra's al Ghul. For now, he's here. But for the most part, every villain they've introduced is just a tease. Flash is building the rogues. They're staying to the, like.
Lisa, what's her name? Lisa Park? Not Lisa Park.
Yeah, I don't remember her name. It is perfectly fine to change things. That's why so many critics like Gotham. But then again, that's why so many fans hate Gotham. But it's okay to change things. But I mean, I have to say, it is so amazing. It's such a great payoff to see Firestorm and Captain Cold shooting, like, their ice guns and fire guns at Flash while he's running around Central City. That is really, really awesome.
Comics.
Even if their costumes aren't that close to the comics, it's still like you still have the simulated costumes with, like, he has the hood and he has the gun and he has like the goggles on. That does
look a bit goofy. I don't know why. Just every other costume is fine, but like look at him in the new promo. He's like inside and he's wearing like a humongous coat. I don't know. It's just weird.
Well, I feel like I'm not trying to offend you, but I feel like you kind of have to, suspend your disbelief a little bit, because why would Batman have underwear on the outside of his costume?
That's not really a realistic debate type of thing.
What?
That's not really a realistic debate type of thing. That's just part of the costume. I mean, that's like saying, oh, well, why does Flash have the lightning bolt on his chest? That would slow him down. Like, that's not really much of an argument.
No, that's not a fair argument, because nothing would really that little bit of plastic won't slow him down. I'm saying that you're saying it looks silly, but I'm saying that for example, people always say that, like, why does Batman have underwear on the outside of his costume? First of all, the design of Batman has survived for 75 years.
76
so that
now.
With almost no complaints. So I think it just works. I don't think we really need to complain about why would he be wearing a hood inside. It's probably not that cold. I don't think that's really a fair argument.
I guess, I don't know, I just find it a bit weird. Like, geez, you would get hot in that thing, more like it. Like, you live inside, like a cold suit.
If that's what you're thinking about while watching The Flash, then I don't think The Flash is for you.
Hey.
What?
It's just an opinion.
Fight me.
Opinion. It's like saying...
Okay. I've killed people before. I'll do it again.
Meet me in Crime Alley tonight, and we will have a brawl.
Yeah, sure, man. I can rip out your throat while you sleep.
Can I be a referee? I mean, I guess I can do the 1, 2, 3 count.
Okay.
Ding, ding.
3, 2, 1.
Go, bro.
You win.
I don't know where that went to. I don't know where that went to. But okay. Yeah. But yeah, it the Flash. I don't know where that went to. I'm sorry. But what do you guys think of the costume? Supposedly it's gonna change. It's gonna change in season 2 from you know how he has the symbol. The CW has their own exclusive symbol, the red and the yellow symbol, but in the comics they have the white, red, and yellow symbol. So do you think do you like the CW's costume now, or do you want like that change to the costume?
I'll say this, when the Flash first started, especially when I saw the first 5-minute long teaser or trailer, I'll say this, it did not look like it looked fine. It looked fine as a costume itself, but as for someone who can break the sound barrier just by running, it didn't really seem like it's a very slim fit. It seemed very thick. But I've definitely grown to it's grown onto me. The Arrow costume has not. I'm still not used to him wearing that green leather. And 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 I know, the Flash, they are kind of doing the same thing as Arrow, which, they just have his costume in a darker color, and except it's leather. At least it looks like leather. It may not be leather, but at least there's detail to it. They have, they have the little things on his head, which are actually like a Bluetooth now, and they have the symbol. Like, there's some detail to it. There's some greeveling everywhere. The Arrow costume, not so much. It's just...
Well, I feel like everything that's going on right now for the superhero universe is how the costume looks. Like, for the Atom, people are complaining of how it's not blue and red. It looks more like an Iron Man suit. And to be honest, yeah, to me, I thought it looked like more like an Iron Man suit because I never heard of the Atom before.
When I saw the Atom suit in action, it definitely looks more like...
Only a little bit different.
Yeah, oh, look, it's like... Oh, shoot. It's like the Firestorm outfit. It's like... It's not red and yellow like how the Firestorm actually is. And
right. Oh my god, if they do that on the show, that'll look so weird.
It'll look so neon, wouldn't it? Because, like, the yellow is, like, bright, and the fire's gonna make, like, that. The color with the CGI or something, I don't know, but it's gonna look, like, super neon to me, to be honest.
Look. This is the thing, is that when you modernize something... The reason that they don't make it like the dark colors just like to make them look brooding, they make it to not look goofy. Like, just wearing a different color other than black isn't goofy. Like, wearing like a dark red and yellow costume isn't goofy. It's just a costume, and it's comic book accurate, and that's great. It's great to have comic book accuracy. I'm not saying, I'm not a fan at all of Firestorm's costume in the comics. I'm like, okay, sure, it fits. I'm not complaining. I'm not saying it looks stupid, but it's comic books. Comic books aren't meant to look... They're kind of meant to look goofy. Is the Iron Man costume goofy because it's red and yellow?
No.
It's robotic. I mean, a guy who was...
good. I'm tired of looking at black, dark green, or bring some color. That's why I love the Atom suit. It's not even like a dark blue and red. It's a pretty bright blue and red. I'm not really that much of a fan of the design, with the whole Iron Man kind of rip-off stuff.
Yeah,
but
that's what I don't like about it. It's not the fact that it's red and blue. It's the fact that it's a robot suit. It's not like I honestly wouldn't mind if they just did a Flash rip-off with only red and blue. I just don't like how it's a robot suit, not a regular.
Well, for when I saw him, the scene where he first puts
it's like a mech suit. It's not like this big giant 30-foot tall mech suit. It's just some armor and plating because he's gonna be out there. He's gonna be flying, for God's sake.
Well,
that's why there's some padding and.
The scene where he first flies.
That scene was awful.
No, yeah, the scene where he first flies, it looked like something they cut off out of RoboCop. Because when I saw him, it looked like. Especially how his his visor was black. Bam! RoboCop and Iron Man. Holy shit! Nice costume. I'm out of here, though.
I swear to God, I've been thinking about this for days. I'm just like, what does that look like? It doesn't look like Superman. It doesn't look like anything else. What is that from? What does that flying shot look like? It looks like fucking RoboCop. Thank you, Nick, but that's what I've been thinking. What?
Tony Stark and RoboCop had a kid.
Yeah, just like how Batman and a Power Ranger fucked each other. That's when the movie costume came out.
My God, why do you have to go so far? Like Nemesis says, Tony Stark and RoboCop have a baby. You're like, RoboCop and Tony Stark fucked.
A Power Ranger. I said a Power Ranger.
They're fucking on the Hulk's back. It's really big.
They're fucking in the invisible jet so they can see each other. Oh my God! This is what we call a rated M podcast.
Yes.
But all joking around.
What do we call this? Can we really call this a Flash review? Because we've been talking.
It's just gonna be Flash. It's still gonna just be the Flash podcast. Yeah, the Flash and some random crap. But anyway, what? Okay, for each of you, since we're gonna start wrapping it up because it's I don't think my audio lets me record for an hour. But what do you guys like most about the Flash?
I would say the fact that it is building its universe. Like I said that, like I know I sound like a broken record. I said that like 3 times already, but it's building its universe, and it has its own feel, even though it's in the technically in the Arrowverse. It's keeping its own lighthearted feel, but when it wants to go dramatic, it will. Like that's what the mid-season finale showed us. If it wants to make you tear up, it will. So that's what I love about it. I love that it's building its universe, and it's keeping a good tone with some dramatic stuff every once in a while.
So what about you, Nemesis?
I like how it stays on the point. Like it just it has one storyline and it follows it. You have this other stuff going on, but it's the Reverse Flash versus the Flash and Barry's mom's murder. That is the plot. It's not going all over the place. Oh, this is happening. This is happening. Like the other villains, they are side characters compared to what's really going on. It's kind of like what Nick Fury said to Tony Stark in Iron Man. You are in a bigger world, but you just don't know it yet. It's kind of that situation.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I like how it keeps focused on the regular plot line and doesn't go all over the place.
Well, what I like the show is how the characters are. Like, you know, Barry represents hope. You know, Iris. You know, every character represents.
That's a bonus, but yeah, they're all well written and well developed.
Yeah.
They're not shoved to the sideline or they just disappear and come back out of nowhere. I feel like Joe are kind of not getting as much screen time as they should, though.
Okay, I'll say one thing about the Flash. Iris is kind of becoming a pain, and I hope she doesn't become Laurel or Barbara, because she's a fine character. She's definitely, as of right now, she's not as bad as them, but she's kind of been getting closer and closer. Then was like lying, like telling Barry's girlfriend that he's interested in her when he really isn't, and you know, again taking a picture of him, and I'm fast too. Like I don't know, it's really not shaping up right now.
What?
Barry's about to score and you screw all that up. Come on.
Yeah. She was fine, and it's like she was kind of annoying in the beginning. Like, how can you not tell that's like he's into? Even if you've been friends forever, how can you not tell? But
it's like at some point
it's really not shaping out well for her. And the actress is actually really good. She's really good. Like especially in interviews, like she's a really good actress. But
yeah, she's good. Yeah.
It's not the actress's fault. It's the story. It's the writing.
Yeah.
Not the actor, the character. That's like my new motto.
Actually, I forgot to mention one thing. This is something that I was actually thinking, like, I want to say this, is that one problem that I still have with The Flash is actually the writing. And I don't mean, like, the story development and all that stuff. I mean, like, the dialogue. A lot of the time, the dialogue feels rushed and kind of... Like every episode where it starts off with "I became the impossible," that line just over and over again starts to kind of it sounds like something I would write, and I'm in 8th grade. It sounds like something I could come up with. I don't know. And
that's what Arrow has. I mean, they say the same thing every intro. It's like they say something else like different every season, but
No, you're misunderstanding me. I'm not saying it's bad because it's being repeated. I just think it's a bad line. I think that line is not well written to begin with. And a lot of I don't know. I'm sure plenty of people disagree with me, and that's fine. I can understand if you like it. But for me personally, I just feel like a lot of times the lines are kind of rushed. I don't know. A lot of times when they try to have like a cool badass moment, it kind of just comes off as lame sometimes. And really, that's why I'm not trying to make fun of the Flash. Flash is an awesome show. It's great. It's fantastic. That's just it's a review. So if you want to hear the good and bad, that's my only bad stuff to say.
Well, the only thing I probably don't like on the Flash is how it's like something's gonna happen, but how can I explain this? God, I'm trying to like think of a way to say what I don't like. Probably the only thing I don't like is how they deal with like suspense kind of stuff. Like, for example, when Peekaboo came on the show and Flash had knocked out all the lights, and when he went to go get her, she was like, "Oh, he left me," and then that was the end of the scene.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you think something like amazing is about to happen, but instead,
It was one of those kind of they may have gone over budget. They may have gone over budget or something, so they kind of had to, this is going on too long. We can't do this big fight because we already kind of the special effects cost too much, all the other stuff cost too much. So let's just end it like this. That's what it kind of feels like, doesn't it? It kind of feels like we wanted to have this big battle, but we kind of went over budget.
it feels weird. Like it
writing than that.
What? Oh no! So,
It was more of the story with the whole, oh, she loves him, but he doesn't love her type of cliche, because that's a lot of stories.
Yeah, I know. Cliches can work. Again, how I reference this is a second I reference it, but in the Young Justice review that me and Enigma did, I say that they have plenty of cliches in that show, but it pays off really good, or they have something in return for it to make it not so much of a cliche.
My favorite line still is
the
Red
Flash just
Tornado.
kind of has cliches because they can't really think of anything else sometimes.
To be honest, yeah, it's just I don't like how they sometimes deal with oh my god. Well, sometimes I don't like how they deal with suspense. That's my only bad thing I don't like about it. But overall, it's a good show.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite is probably still Gotham. Gotham is still top of me.
Yeah.
Flash, I don't mind watching it. I don't know. It's weird. I don't know. Any last words before we end this thing? Nope. Any last thoughts?
If you watch the pilot for the Flash and you're like, I don't like this, give it a chance. I'd say that. Give it a chance.
Well, it's kind of like you have to recommend.
Like all good shows, it gets better.
It's like, what do you call it? It's like Gotham. Like if you want to start someone off on Gotham, they say you start with the Joker episode and then start on the pilot. So you have to that's what I've seen.
That's not fair. Gotham has some really good episodes. Other than that, Gotham, just because so many people, all the people who hate Gotham, those are all just die-hard Batman fans saying it's not close enough to the animated series. It is its own show. It's a lot more of just a crime drama than a Batman show. So people need to stop judging it, calling it a Batman show.
I think when
even though it takes place in the DC universe, it is absolutely its own thing. So even as the first, it is if you go on Rotten Tomatoes, which sometimes isn't the best source to look up reviews, almost every single critic on there loves that show. All the fans, if you look up reviews by K-Wing, it sucks because it's not close enough to the animated series. It's not close enough to.
Well, I think shows like that, like Gotham, The Flash, and even Arrow, they'll still relate to Batman the Animated Series. Like every single show, every single Batman thing that I've seen, and if someone doesn't like it, they go, "Oh, it wasn't as good as the animated series." Like they look up to that one source, and it's just if it fails, then it wasn't good. Like nothing can top the animated series. Nothing can top the original animated series. But you can't keep judging it on one little thing. You have to have your own. You have to have something else for you not to like it.
Here's the thing: is that I completely get it if you grew up the animated series, and it is not a bad show by any means. But I still don't really understand why people think that is the definitive Batman. I still think that there are moments that, I really tried starting that show, and I got into the first 5 episodes. I don't know. I can't really get into the animated series, and that's not to say it's a bad show. So if you don't think it's as good as the animated series, that's fine. But nothing is good. Nothing's going to be as good as the animated series to you. If it holds such a good place in your heart, in your brain, if you grew up watching it when you were 10, then nothing's going to top it.
Yeah, that's what I personally think. Like nothing.
Yeah, like if I like if you like Nick, like if you grew up watching, you know, Batman Brave and the Bold. Well, actually, that's not a good example. If you grew up watching the Justice League Unlimited series, nothing's
Yeah, that would be.
ever gonna top that for you.
That was my Batman. Like the anime series was good, but if I thought of Batman, I thought of him in the Justice League show.
Yeah, that one was probably mine.
I
Too.
do
like-
definitely love that show because they don't pretend like Batman's this like overpowered beast. Like there's this one line in the Justice League Unlimited show where like these alien cockroach robots shoot down Batman like the Batwing and he's falling. He's like, I need assistance because I can't fly. Like,
Superman, Clark, I need you. Lantern.
Like right before he hits the ground.
Like Lantern, where are you? I'm here. It's like, do we always have to pick you up when you fall?
Because,
Yeah.
You know, I can't fly.
Yeah, that was great.
I would say that that's my Batman, but that is definitely a very good incarnation of
Well,
Batman.
my Batman was the Brave and the Bold. I loved when. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, of course.
I never watched Brave and the Bold. I haven't watched a single episode.
I know Brave and the Bold is definitely made for kids, but I fucking love that show.
Yeah, I kind of liked it.
It's great. It's awesome. It's just so 60s Batman, and I just love that. Like the Catwoman suit doesn't even look like the 60s Catwoman suit. She has like that like real cat face on her. Like remember like
Meow.
when Catwoman first showed up, like in Detective Comics, her head, she wore like a big helmet that looked like a real cat. Like everything about that show, like Nightwing, he doesn't have that like black and blue. He has that like circus looking outfit. If you haven't watched Batman Brave and the Bold, I don't know. I wouldn't say watch all of it, but just watch a couple episodes because it's so cheesy and it's so It's so purposely cheesy. That is that is like a love. That show is a love letter to the '60s Batman show.
Yeah, and it did the cliche, the villain of the week or the hero of the week cliche really well. Like every week, Batman was with a new hero. They did it really well, actually, for a cliche.
Well, yeah, that's one of the things.